the operator of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, has detected radioactive iodine in seawater samples around the plant 7.5 million times higher than the government's legal limit. Tokyo Electric Power Company says it detected 300,000 becquerels of iodine-131 per cubic centimeter in samples taken around the water intake of the No. 2 reactor before noon on Saturday. It also found 200,000 becquerels of radioactive iodine, an amount 5 million times higher than the limit, in samples taken at the same spot on Monday morning. Monday's sample also shows cesium-137, whose half-life is 30 years, at 1.1 million times higher than the national limit. TEPCO has been checking radioactive materials in the sea around the plant because water containing high levels of these substances has been pouring out of cracked concrete pit near the No. 2 reactor. Highly contaminated water was detected earlier there. On March 27th, 13 million becquerels of iodine-131 per cubic centimeter were detected in the water in the basement of the turbine building. 3 days later, contaminated water was found in a nearby tunnel. Professor Koji Okamoto of the Graduate School of the University of Tokyo says it has become clear that high level of radioactive substances from the reactor are pouring into the sea. He says the flow of radioactive water must be stopped immediately.
300,000 becquerels of radioactive iodine-131 per cubic centimeter were detected in seawater sample taken near the facility on Saturday. The amount is 7.5 million times the regulated level. A sample taken yesterday was 5 million times higher than the national limit. Yesterday's reading was also 1.1 million times over the national limit for cesium-137, which has a half-life of 30 years. A utility firm official says the company is very sorry for causing trouble to lots of people. He says little progress has been made, but the company wants to push forward its effort to contain the situation in cooperation with many people. At the No. 2 reactor, contaminated water has been found in the basement of the turbine building and in a tunnel outside the building. The Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency says the contaminated water is suspected of coming from damaged nuclear fuel rods in the reactor. A water sample taken 330 meters south of the plant's drain outlets yesterday afternoon detected radioactive iodine-131 at 1,000 times the legal limit. A sample taken yesterday afternoon, this one 15 kilometers offshore, was 4.8 times above the limit. TEPCO has continued since last night discharging slightly radioactive water from a waste disposal container. The utility firm says about 2,800 tons of low-level contaminated water was released into the ocean until 9 o'clock this morning. After finishing the discharge, water with much higher levels of radioactivity in the No. 2 reactor's tunnel will be moved to the container.